it's all because of you. I held your hand and I knew forever. One touch enough to be sure of it all. I'm in heaven. Over the moon. And it's all because of you. I held your hand and I knew forever. One touch enough to be sure of it all.
Nima and Caitlin do have one request before we get started. One selfie. So if everyone kind of squeeze in a little bit, stand up if you need to. Ready, guys?
Yeah. I gotta be in this one.
I can't see Nima. Boom. All right, okay. We got it. Okay. Now I need everyone to do me a favor. Put your phones away, tuck them in your pockets, drop them in your bag. We have an incredible photographer here today who is going to capture every single moment of this beautiful ceremony. And the best gift you can give Nima and Caitlin right now is your full, undivided presence. No screens, just you right here in this moment. Trust me, what's about to happen in this beautiful setting is worth watching with your own two eyes. Before I begin, I want to take just a moment to set the stage, because this ceremony is a little something special. Today, as we celebrate this love, we also feel the presence of those we've lost. We like to think of cardinals as little signs they're near, blue jays as reminders of their strength and guidance, and butterflies as symbols that their spirits live on. In these small, beautiful moments, we're comforted knowing they're still with us, sharing this day. Today's ceremony is inspired by the Aghd. Good? By the Aghd, the traditional Iranian wedding ceremony. The word Aghd simply means union or contract, and it is one of the most beautiful, symbol-rich wedding traditions in the world. Nima and Caitlin have chosen to honor this tradition today, but in true Nima and Caitlin fashion, they're putting their own spin on it. So what you're about to experience is part ancient Persian tradition and part completely them. At the center of the Aghd is the Sofreh Aghd, the wedding spread. That is the ceremonial table you see before you. Every single item on it has been placed with intention. Fruits for fertility, fruits for health, nuts for fertility and abundance, a mirror and candles for light and clarity, honey for sweetness. Poetry, because Persians understood a long time ago that love deserves beautiful words. We'll come back to each of these elements as we move through the ceremony, but right now, I want to tell you a little bit about the sugar cones. In Persian tradition, ornate sugar cones are rubbed together over the couple's heads by the married women of the family, showering them with sweetness, a wish that their life together holds more joy than hardship, more sweetness than bitterness. Now, Nima and Caitlin have chosen to select few of you to take part in this blessing. Nima's cousins, Kamran and Darian, will be guiding those chosen guests to the stage throughout the ceremony. If you've been selected, you'll know when your moment comes. For everyone else, sit back, enjoy, and know that this blessing is being offered on behalf of all of us. It starts now, and it lasts until the end. Now, look around you. Look at the people sitting next to you. Look across from you. Look behind you. Look at the flowers, the candles, the light. Take it all in. Because I need you to understand one thing before we begin. This moment, this exact moment, it almost didn't happen. And I say that not to be dramatic, though I am a little. I say that because the story of how we got here is one of the most beautifully chaotic, accidentally perfect. Only Nima could manage the stories I've ever witnessed. And I had a front row seat for it all. My name is Gavin Coco. If you need to know anything else about me, just Google my name, even though I said put your phones away. We can do that later. And don't be surprised if you come across some articles related to a horse incident. I did say horse incident. I'll leave it at that. What I will tell you is that I've known Nima for a very long time. He's my best friend. I've known him for longer than each of us would like to admit. I've watched this man turn every setback into a stepping stone and somehow land on his feet every single time. And today, he has landed in the best place of his life because he found Caitlin. So on behalf of Nima, Caitlin, and both their families, welcome. Welcome to the people who flew in, drove in, and crawled in. We know who you are. I was with a couple of you last night. Welcome to those who are crying already. We know who you are. And for those who aren't, give it 10 minutes. We are gathered here today for the marriage of two people who, with good luck, good old-fashioned technology, found each other. And we're so lucky to witness it here today. Now let me tell you how it all started. It was Myrtle Beach, Bumble, and a chicken outfit. I want you to picture this. Nima, a man of intensity, ambition, and an absolutely unearned level of self-confidence. He posts a profile picture on a dating app, not a suit photo, not a beach photo, a chicken outfit, an actual full chicken costume. And somewhere on the other side of the phone screen, Caitlin sees this photo and thinks, and I'm not making this up, she thinks, yes, that's the one. Caitlin, you had me at chicken. And somewhere on the other side of that screen, Caitlin sees this photo. Sorry, I just said that, so let me take a step back. Now, I should note, for anyone looking at Nima's outfit today, the chicken costume was actually a step down from his usual wardrobe. This man has never met a loud color he didn't immediately want to wear. Florals, prints, patterns. If it could be spotted from a low earth orbit, Nima has owned it. And today, on the most important day of his life, he is fully committed to this bit, and I want everyone to take a look at that suit and those shoes. Caitlin, I don't know if you realized when you said yes that you were also saying yes to this wardrobe or these wardrobe selections, but we are here today, and honestly, it's very him, and we love him for it. But before we get back to what happened when they matched, let me tell you a little bit of the woman on the other side of the screen, because Caitlin's story is just as remarkable. Caitlin grew up in Maryland, same as Nima, as it turns out. She lived in Texas for several years, and life sometimes, as it does, asked her to start over. After 8 years in the middle of the desert, she had a pretty significant epiphany. She is, at her core, a water girl. She needed the coast. She needed the ocean. She needed to feel like herself again. So she made the move. Her parents had already moved to North Carolina. They retired, and Caitlin moved to call North Carolina her home. She packed up her life and headed to the coast, closer to her family, closer to the water, and closer to, as it turned out, the man that she was going to meet today. She had been here exactly 1 year before Nima showed up in her Bumble feed wearing that notorious chicken costume. Now, Caitlin's dad, God bless him, when he heard Caitlin was putting herself back on the open market, dating again, his response was classic. He looked at his daughter and said, "Caitlin, you need a man like you need a hole in your head." Sir, with the greatest respect, I think we all agree here today that she made the right call ignoring that advice. So they match, they start talking, and then classic Nima has to leave for a recruiting trip overseas right at the moment things were getting good. So Caitlin waits. She waits for this man she has never met in person, who she only knows from that chicken photo and some texts to come back to. He comes back, they meet for drinks at a little bar. At the time, it was just a bar. What neither of them knew that night was that Nima would one day walk back into that bar, that exact same place, get down on one knee, and ask Caitlin to spend the rest of his life with him. That bar didn't know it yet, they didn't know it yet, but some places just hold on to things. At that moment did come, just short of 3 years after they first matched on Bumble. In early June of 2025, Nima proposed. But before he got down on one knee, he did something that I think speaks volumes for the character of the man that he is. Around Christmas of 2024, Nima went to Caitlin's brother TJ, man to man, and asked for his blessing to marry his sister. Now, TJ loves his sister fiercely, and TJ had one answer and one warning. He looked at Nima dead in his eye and said, "Yes, but if you hurt her, like any of the other ones did, I will kill you." So we've got a hole in the head reference and a death threat, but that's okay. Nima, it certainly seems like you treated Caitlin well, seeing that you're standing in front of her, in front of all of us today, alive and well in that suit. I'd say TJ's pretty satisfied with your performance. They go out together for 20 straight days, 20 days in a row. Now, I know Nima, and I want all of you to appreciate what it means for this man being present for 1 minute, let alone 20 minutes. That's love, or at least very, very strong like. And then came the beach, their official first date. And the moment tells you everything you need to know about who these two people are. They're walking together, and Nima, who wants to kiss this woman and has absolutely no idea how to make it happen, decides that the solution is to a fake stumble, out of all things. A fake stumble. A full dramatic, "oh no, I'm falling" stumble. And Caitlin, being the kind, generous, instinctively caring person that she is, reaches out and grabs him, catches him, makes sure he does not hit the ground. And in that exact moment, Nima locks lips. Ladies and gentlemen, that's either the most romantic thing I've ever heard or an absolute act of fraud. Could be both. Could be both. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that gets me every single time I tell this story. She caught him when he fell. Even if it was fake, she caught him. And that, more than anything, tells you exactly who Caitlin is for Nima. She is the person who will always reach out, who will always make sure he doesn't hit the ground, who catches him, even when he manufactures the fall. Now, speaking of catching things, before we go any further, there's one more Persian tradition I need to let you in on. And this is my personal favorite. In the Aghd, when the officiant asks the bride if she will take the groom's hand in marriage, she doesn't answer right away. In fact, by tradition, she's not supposed to. She gets 3 chances to say yes. After the first 2 times she's asked, she is absent, not paying attention, busy, or somewhere else. The tradition is called ballet, which simply means yes in Persian, and it exists to honor the bride's voice, her agency, and her full and joyful consent. She makes you wait for it, and when she finally says yes, you know she means it. When the bride doesn't answer, someone in the crowd, usually a Persian family member, will call out, "The bride is gone to pick flowers." In Persian, that's gol chidam. It's a playful way of saying she's off in her own world, not quite ready to answer yet. So, with that in mind, Caitlin, I have to ask you something. We've all gathered here today. Nima is standing right next to you, looking like a full-blown tropical bird. And I just need you to know, are you going to say yes today?
She went to pick flowers.
Thanks for the translation. For those who don't know, that means she's gone to pick flowers. She'll be back probably. She's out in the garden, folks. Don't worry. I guess she's picking flowers somewhere. So I've known Nima for a long time, and I mean that in the truest sense. I don't just mean we've been friends for years. I mean we've lived life together, in parallel, like 2 cars on the same highway, hitting every green light and hitting every single pothole at exactly the same time. We've celebrated together. We've picked each other up. We've lived in Aruba for a month. We've moved to the Carolinas at the same time, and we've found our soulmates at the same time. Life has a funny way of running 2 people through the same seasons, so that when the good stuff finally does come, you can look at each other and know without saying a word, you've earned it. But I have to tell you about the moment that began the chain of events for Caitlin and Nima to eventually meet. So, it's COVID. We're in Arlington, Virginia. We find ourselves on a rooftop, candlelit dinner, beautiful evening, good food on the table. Just two guys enjoying a peaceful meal, talking about the good old memories. Genuinely lovely. Now, the food presentation was absolutely flawless, and Nima, a man who approaches a good meal the way he approaches everything in life, with a complete and total commitment. He is fully in it. Both hands, no hesitation, face first into a plate full of tacos. And I, because the artist that I am, because I like to live in the moment, want to capture this beautiful moment, take a picture, a photo of Nima, mid-taco, cheeks full, eyes down, a man at peace with the universe. And I send it to everybody in my phone, including his boss. Now, in the immediate aftermath, this was, how do I put this, not great. Not only were we in the middle of a global pandemic, which meant neither of us was exactly supposed to be out in public in the first place, we were certainly not supposed to be sitting elbow to elbow on a rooftop flouting every social distancing guideline known to man. So that photo didn't just capture a man enjoying a beautiful taco, it captured evidence. Nima parted ways with his job at GW, which understandably set off a chain of decisions. But here's what I need you to hear. If that photo never gets sent, Nima never makes the move that led him here to the Carolinas, to Myrtle Beach, to Bumble, to a chicken outfit. To Caitlin. She hates that chicken outfit. Every time I say it, she barks. Nima, I'm sorry, man, but you're also welcome. And here's why I tell you this story. Because what it shows is the character of the man. Nima put one foot in front of the other, turned a new direction into a new life, and never looked back. That's who he is. That is who Nima is. He is loyal to a degree that is almost unreasonable. He would give you the shirt off his back unless it's our beloved Redskins, or apparently the floral one he was planning to wear this weekend, and he never, ever stops moving forward. And now the most important movie he's ever made in his life is the one he's making today. I want to take this moment and talk about love. Not the greeting card version, not the highlight reel version, the real thing. Real love is not about finding someone identical to you. Real love is about finding the person who makes you better than you are on your own. Let me start with Caitlin. Caitlin is someone who has lived a full life, real life, before arriving at this moment. She has been brave enough to leave what wasn't right, bold enough to uproot herself and start fresh on the coast, and wise enough to know exactly the kind of life and the kind of person she was looking for. She didn't settle. She waited until something real showed up. And Caitlin is calm in a way that is genuinely rare. She is kind. She is grounded. She is the kind of person who makes everyone around her feel steadier just by being present. She doesn't make a big show of it. She just is it. To love someone like Nima fully, you have to be a particular kind of person. You have to be wildly accepting. You have to look at the intensity, the ambition, the dreaming out loud, the florals, all of it, and say yes. Every last bit of it, I choose it all. Caitlin does that every single day. She does that. And now Nima is, how do I say this with deep affection? A lot. He is intense. He is competitive. He dreams bigger than anyone I've ever known, and he chases those dreams with an energy that fills the space that he walks into. He is constantly reaching, constantly building, constantly looking for the next horizon. That kind of gift, or that kind of fire is a gift, but fire without the right presence beside it can also burn. Caitlin is that presence. She doesn't dim his light, she steadies it. She doesn't slow him down, she gives him the ground to stand on so he can run. They are, in the truest sense, exactly what the other one needed. All right. I've laid out the case. I've presented the evidence. Caitlin, everything I've just described about this man standing next to you, the loud suits, the taco photo, the fake stumble, are you ready to say yes?
I just have football footer. She went to drink some water.
Okay. Still no yes.
Or maybe champagne. Prosecco, who knows?
I guess she's still in the garden, or champagne or water. She's taking her time. I respect it. One more chance, Caitlin. From the very moment I was able to see Nima and Caitlin together, I mean the very first moment, I hadn't even said hello yet. I thought two things. The first was, how in the world did Nima pull this off? I mean, and Nima, I say this as your best friend, your biggest fan, This man was playing significantly above the rim. We know he's a basketball coach, so I think it's an appropriate reference. But yeah, he was playing above the rim at altitudes he previously never explored. And you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be surprised, because I recently learned something about Nima's name that stopped me cold. The name Nima in Persian means blessing, fair, or depending on the translation, chosen archer. Chosen archer, a man who draws back, takes aim, and hits his mark. Nima, I don't know what you're aiming for all these years, but standing here today, it is abundantly clear. You have hit your bullseye. But the second thought, and this is the one that stayed with me, it was real. Because Nima was different. I've known this man for a long time, through every version of him, and watching him with Caitlin was like watching someone finally becoming fully themselves. He was soft in ways I hadn't seen before, present in ways I hadn't seen before. He was flirting like a kindergartner with a very first crush, which was adorable and slightly painful. It was just me and those two, so I was by myself. But it was also the most genuine thing I'd ever seen from him. And the way Caitlin laughed at his jokes that I've heard 100 times like they were brand new, the way they held each other with this quiet softness, the way they looked at each other, that twinkle, pure, real, and completely unperformed. That is what love looks like. That is what it looks like when two people are actually truly right for each other. I stopped thinking, I hope this works out. I started thinking this is going to be forever. And I was right. Now let's get back to the Sofreh Aghd. I introduced it earlier, but I want to walk you through a few of the most meaningful elements on the table, because each one carries specific wishes for this couple's life together. The mirror, the aneya, and the symbolism of it is the clarity and light. It reflects the candles burning on either side, representing the energy and warmth of a shared life. When Nima and Caitlin looked into that mirror together for the first time today, they were seeing their future illuminated. The fruits on the table are for health. The nuts are for fertility, abundance, and a rich, joyful life. Each element is an intention, a wish placed here by people who love this couple dearly. There's also poetry, specifically the poetry from Hafez, one of Iran's most beloved poets, who wrote about love with more beauty and precision than almost any human being ever has. Hafez believed that love was not just an emotion, but a force, a divine, unstoppable current that runs beneath everything. That love, properly lived, is one of the highest expressions by a human being. I'd like to share one of his verses with you now. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, you owe me. Look what happens with a love like that. It lights up the whole sky. That is the love I see in this beautiful setting today. That is the love I see between Nima and Caitlin. All right, we've heard the poetry. The sugar has fallen. Nima is standing right here in that suit, and he is ready. Caitlin, for the third and final time, are you going to say yes?
Yes.
We're here. We did it. We did it. Nima, Caitlin, I'd like to invite you to the front of the Sofreh Aghd.
August 9th, 2022 was the first day that we met. I was sitting on the beach all day by myself when we made some plans to meet at Anchor Cafe. Who would have known you would have become my anchor, settling my heart and soul? Day 2 led to 3, 4, and 20 straight days of dates. Pretty safe to say, in the midst of this string of days, I knew we would one day be standing in front of each other, announcing our love to the world. In a life full of complex decisions, loving you has not been complex at all. Rather, it's been the easiest choice I've ever made. The journey of life is like climbing a mountain. There are peaks and valleys. The journey is not linear, but somehow your love has been calm, like this beautiful water that's always been the backdrop of our love story. Meanwhile, to demonstrate how amazing you really are, merci, au revoir. Merci. Meanwhile, to demonstrate how amazing you really are, as Gavin alluded to, changed jobs 3 times, soon to be 4. You didn't blink. We lived apart for a year. our love grew even stronger. And we entered this chapter of our lives. I stand before all those who love us both unconditionally, knowing that your love for me is genuine, thoughtful, passionate, and for all the right reasons. I recently got some great advice, and it was so spot on. Every decision made is no longer a decision for me, but one for us. I appreciate the fact that for the rest of our lives, what we do, how we do it, and everything in between is a partnership between the two of us. And when I take my last breath on earth, you will be that partner. And my heaven will be this absolutely beautiful backdrop. And all the amazing memories that we have made. All of those who are here to celebrate you should know that I've been raised to love you unconditionally, protect you fiercely, celebrate your sovereignty as a woman and as an equal. Beyond having you, you will always be my best friend. And being in love with my best friend is the best possible thing. And you.
Can't kiss me yet.
Okay, shit.
Well, as someone who a lot of you saw this morning running around like a crazy person, planning every meticulous detail, I forgot to write my vows. But I remember the early days of us going on 20 straight nights or days of dates. And I remember the very obviously fake stumble in the beach that landed our first kiss. And I hope that you continue to every single day, and I will be there to catch you every single day. We knew that beagle was going to be back.
We knew it.
I could not ask for a greater love, a better support system, a stronger foundation to build our entire lives together. I want to wake up every single day and choose you and choose us, and I will always be your Arus.
Think the honey.
That's amazing, guys. All right, look at the person in front of you. This is your person. This is the one you called a stranger not that long ago. This is the one you found in a chicken costume on a phone screen, who you met for drinks, who you walked for 20 days beside, who you caught when they pretended to fall. Look at them. This is the greatest adventure of your life, and it starts now. Nima, please repeat after me. I, Nima, take you, Caitlin, as my partner, my best friend, and the love of my life.
I, Nima, take you, Caitlin, as my partner, my best friend, for the rest of my life.
I promise to be present with you,
I promise to be present with you,
even when the world is pulling me 100 directions.
even when the world is pulling me in 100 directions.
I promise to keep reaching for my dreams and to always make sure you know that you are the greatest one I ever caught.
I promise to keep reaching for my dreams while always letting you know that you're the best one that I ever caught.
I promise to let you catch me when I fall, even when I manufacture it.
I promise to let you catch me when I fall, even when I manufacture it.
You want to manufacture it now?
I stumbled in the water, guys. It was choppy waves.
I promise to love you fully, honestly, and without reservation.
I promise to love you fully, honestly, and without reservations.
Today and every day for the rest of our lives.
Today and every day for the rest of our lives.
Caitlin, yours is a little bit easier. Please repeat after me. I, Caitlin, take you, Nima,
I, Caitlin, take you, Nima,
as my partner, my best friend, and the love of my life.
as my partner, my best friend, and the love of my life.
I promise to be your calm in the chaos,
I promise to be your calm in the chaos,
and to love you exactly as you are.
and to love you exactly as you are.
I promise to never stop laughing at your terrible jokes,
I promise to never stop laughing at your terrible jokes.
And I promise to catch you every single time.
And I promise to catch you every single time.
I promise to love you fully, honestly, and without reservation.
I promise to love you fully, honestly, and without reservation.
Today and every day for the rest of our lives.
Today and every day for the rest of our lives.
The words have been spoken. Now we can seal them. These rings are a symbol of everything you've just promised. Unbroken, unending, with no beginning and no finish line. A continuous cycle of commitment worn on your hand every single day as a reminder of this moment and everything it means. Nima, place this ring on Caitlin's finger and please repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed.
With this ring, I thee wed.
And that's it. Just get the ring on the finger.
It does have multiple parts.
Caitlin, please. Caitlin, place this ring on Nima's finger and repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed.
With this ring, I thee wed.
Nima and Caitlin, you came here today as two people. You leave as one family. You've stood in front of everyone who loves you most in this world, and you've made a promise. Not a perfect promise, because no one can promise perfect, but a real one, a showing up, going through it together. I choose you every day promise. That is the whole thing. That is the entire secret to a great marriage. Just keep choosing each other on the good days and the hard ones, when life feels easy, when it asks more of you than you expected. In the ordinary Tuesday mornings and the extraordinary once-in-a-lifetime moments, keep choosing each other. There's a Persian blessing I want to leave you with. It is traditionally offered to newlyweds as they step into their life together. May your home be full of light and laughter. May you grow old together on one pillow. May your love be a shelter for each other, always. Nima, I've known you through everything, and I've never been more proud of you than I am right now. You found her. You got out of your own way long enough to find her, and you're smart enough to know that what you had. That's everything. Caitlin, thank you for being so brave enough to start over. Thank you for choosing the coast. Thank you for choosing yourself, and for ultimately choosing this man standing next to you. Thank you for loving him the way he deserves to be loved. Thank you for catching him in every sense of the word. And thank you for accepting the wardrobe. You are extraordinary, and this family is so lucky to have you with it. And to all of you gathered here today, thank you for being witness to this love. Thank you for filling this beautiful outdoor setting with everything it needs: warmth, history, joy, and a couple of happy tears. But before I pronounce you, one last tradition: the honey exchange, one of the most beautiful moments in the Aghd. Nima and Caitlin will each dip their pinky finger into the honey and offer it to the other. The meaning is simple. I think she wants some too. The meaning is simple and perfect. The very first offering of this marriage. The last act before you become husband and wife is sweetness. Please exchange. My God. Ladies and gentlemen, by the power vested in me in the great state of South Carolina, and by the power of friendship, loyalty, and the chicken costume, it is my absolute honor and privilege to pronounce Nima and Caitlin husband and wife. Nima, you may kiss the bride.